Alright, so I was sitting here waiting for the All or Nothing release to come out, and you'll notice it's just gone 5. There's been no "the build is in 5 minutes" release. So I just played a PvP game while I'm waiting. I actually really quite like my gameplay here. I think there's some fun things to talk about. The most recent Fresh Air game you saw, I was talking about like one of the bursts, one of the tricks in the kit. Well, this game will open with another one of the bursts and one of the tricks that you don't often see me do. Again, because it fails a bit more against better players. I mean, it's more of a classic bit of gameplay, but I'm going for it here. It's like jazz, all right? We're going to mix it up, all right? So we'll see what we think. So on the open, I actually really like our composition, by the way. We have a Chrono. I still don't really know about the Chrono builds. I don't play enough PvP at the moment. We also have Renegades. Renegade? Revenant, Herald. So that's nice. He can supplement damage on any pressure. And then we got a good team fight. The only problem is we don't really have a great side noder, and recognizing that in this game, I'm going to be really, really defensive and conservative with where I rotate, all right? So yeah, on the open here, by the way, I'm trying to stand as much as I can with this guy because he gives me Fury and good opening might, which I'm really happy with. So I just want to stay with this, and we're going to find our target at mid. So there's a Thief, poorly positioned in my opinion immediately, and I'm curious about, but probably there's a better target. On the left, I see that there's someone hooking around, so I want to hook around on the right so that I don't get jumped from the flank. And as I do so, I see a really weirdly positioned Reaper here. So, I mean, this person has a top 25 title, so I assume that they know what they're doing, but they're very vulnerable out on their own. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to burst this Reaper, but I'm going to do it with a precasted Phoenix Blink. So, I could be Dragon's Tooth, Earth, Immobilize, and stuff like that for the global here, and I'm pretty sure I get it. But I go for the Phoenix here, so we've double tapped Fire, which gives us our Elements of Rage buff. We've got Fury already, which is nice, but we're gonna use the Wave here, and we're just proccing that for damage and a damage buff on our other stuff. And what I'm doing here, this ground target, this is my Phoenix. Sorry, that's the Arcane Wave. Now, there was the Phoenix behind him, and as I release the Phoenix, I also Lightning Flash on top of him. So the Phoenix has come out of my hand right as I'm going in. This does look kind of macro-y, doesn't it, to be honest? It's not. It's just blink and then spam 3. As you can see, it says skill recharging here. And yeah, when we crit with the Phoenix, we do a lot of good damage. I think that Phoenix was actually kind of poor. I think I blinked too early because it was still rolling and stuff. Anyway, my Rev plays perfectly here and gets on the target too after the Reaper evaded my Gale follow-up. So that was really good. And we've just eliminated that Reaper from the fight. What I actually want to do right now for this game is keep rotating into that Reaper and punishing him. But this is going to be a good video, by the way, because it's a real back and forth of a game. I'm not actually going to see that Reaper much. The Reaper does a very good job staying the hell away from me. So I do this. Now, I kill this. It's kind of silly, me doing that. What happened was monkey brain. I looked and I saw I had a down. And I was like, oh god, we should quickly cleave that out. And the second I turned around, I was like, well, no, there's no way he's tagged it. So it was irrelevant. I could have bled that for longer. But I do want to get off the ledge and into the fight. And I don't want one of the enemies to trade up onto the ledge with a port or something. They do have a Mesmer and then Res or something. So yeah, I come forwards. Also, you notice my 1v1er is engaged on close. So, yeah, my team, my Firebrand Scourge do very well. You like to see this, the elite and stuff. This guy dodges under an already existing Dragon's Tooth. I get the Fiery Greatsword. We're going to get some nice one pretty cool Fiery Greatsword play this game. So, yeah, we just use this to counter pressure. We chance in a Mob. I'm going to rip through them again with it in a second here. Looking for the Core Guard. He moves in a slightly different angle than I was expecting. But yeah, we managed to get him down again with the Rev. The Rev supplement and the damage is just so nice. So now, this is pretty cool. I'm pretty confident we've got the cleave and everything for that. So I take the mobility of the GS3, and because it's moved me so far here, I swap into air for super speed, port forwards, and now I'm going to hold the Greatsword, which is about to dissipate in my hand. But I'm going to cast the 5 to break clones, like staff clones that he moves in or whatever, or just ward him. And then I'm going to try and use the 3 before this despawns to get out as well. And you'll notice that right as I get the decap, this is like the last second of the sword existing. It's right as the ambush is in, but I've got the decap and I get the... By the time this animation here, the sword had already disappeared from my hands, but because I was mid-animation, it didn't remove the skills until the very end. So I get absolute max efficiency out of that. And then, even better, I can immobilize with Arcane and then sprint off. You'll notice I'm not even in combat here. So really, really good stuff. And this downstate body here is fine, so I've managed to get that Mesmer away. The Mesmer's going to take good note of me and is going to watch me a lot of the game. So there's going to be a lot of me interacting with that Mesmer. There's one really silly play of mine this game, but overall I think it's okay. So the Firebrand, this is kind of weird because my Firebrand's left on the node, and I know that he's going to get pressured by that Mirage, at least, and probably other people. I know that my team's got a bit of a snowball, and I don't even have to look at the minimap or use my eyes over here. I know in general, having seen that my Firebrand is alone, that just the sense of the game is that it's fine. I don't need to go over there. So I'm basically going to stay with him. I liked how he gave me might as I moved, but I'm going to choose to stay because obviously this fight isn't coming, and I can't leave my Firebrand to 1v1 that. Interestingly, the Thief that I was assuming was just dead and wasn't going to be able to do anything, does manage to get out and steal to me at the start here. So I take the counter pressure. I don't manage to steal his steal. Blind his steal. Why was I saying so? I don't manage to get that on him, so he gets his value in. Well, no, hold on. This must just be Shadow Shot, right? Because he stole a second ago with a sleight of hand. Anyway, we try and do damage, and I've got to get on the node to hold this, but my Firebrand is now, like, I don't know, picking his nose. He's just wandered around, and I'm in a really danger. The only thing I'm hoping to do right now is get a little bit of support or something. I'm in Vuln, so I see he drops the line, and I'm just going to kite into the line, hoping that the Thief tries to attack me in it, and then I'll just burst him as soon as I see he gets CC'd by it. And we do something like that in the end. But I got a lot of Condi pressure here. So I get pretty grumpy here. This Firebrand is here to support me. So I'm standing next to him, trying to get some Mantra proc or some F2 or something. Because the Mirage has just had absolute free liberty to just keep casting on me. And normally I'd kite out. And I'm just trying to trust that the Firebrand will do something useful. But unfortunately, I've killed the Thief, and now he's trying to stomp the Thief. And he's a support Firebrand. He's not going to have Judge's intervention. This isn't going to go anywhere. And he's just letting me die standing next to him. So I take an evade. Even after the port, he's still just very slowly stomping it out. But luckily we get res, and it's a Blood Scourge as well. So, you know, just OP skills and builds save the day. Here I was going to burst it, but then there was a stealth. So I went for a longer, more prolonged Dragon's Tooth. Here I'm going for the Phoenix kind of blink jump up on the ledge again against the Mirage. But he still has plenty of dodges. So here I consider going off the edge, but then think maybe it's okay because those Warlock beams aren't actually that scary. So I just wait a second on those, especially when I'm on cleansing, and I'll just rip any Vuln off instantly. I was going to go for the Core Guard, but he goes into renewed focus, so I'm quite limber here. I turn off the target. We see that the Reaper's moving in. Oh, yeah. Sorry. After I leave this ledge and this entire running across the node, you see how I got on this and he starts renewed focus? Do you see how I swung my camera like this to see this ledge? It's because I know that Mirage is probably still chasing me and no one else. He should be on the Scourge, to be honest, at this point. So I'm actually kiting the Mirage right now. That's all I'm really thinking about. Coming up the ledge here. This is nice because it will line of sight any oddness that he tries to go for. You see, I'm not aggressive onto this, and we see this stuff appears. I was waiting for this Mirage here. And now he kites off, so I clear his clones. I was actually happy to see that I basically had someone AFK on close here. And I take the very quick plus on this because I think that mid should be okay. So, and this guy's been moving so much. It's not likely he's got much left, but he did have a very strong distort for my Plasma Beam. So then I Phoenix out of the end of the Plasma Beam and he dodges a part of it. He moves over here. I can see from this that if he's good, what he's probably doing is staying up. But he's in stealth, which complicates things. And he is actually still up here. So I'm just going to make sure I stay slightly higher. He gets an F2 on me there. And a Chaos Storm. But it's not that scary. And then we notice he's come around the other way. I like how my ally very aggressively came off to support. And finally, we have a burst window after all of that time. I eat a mage and he procs my passive blocks, which is kind of lame. So yeah, nothing too, you know, there's no star plays you're seeing from me here, except just making sure that I don't die to a Mirage. So we move on. Now, as I'm re-engaging on mid here, I don't have to look at the minimap or know anything. I just know it took me a long time to do that plus on close. And there's a chance that this is really precarious and I need to hit hard. So even though I've got barely any health, I'm not going to wait for a combat break or anything. I know that this is going to be volatile. So we go towards the Reaper. He gets a big dodge. I probably could have been a little bit more patient. Here is dangerously stupid because I'm kiting towards their spawn at very low health. I'm only noticing that on post commentary. That's pretty bad play, to be honest. He comes around the corner. So I'm going to blink through and I'm going to use water here to cleave the body because Shatterstone keeps getting buffed. So if you see, where my Shatterstone actually finishes him off there with the airstrikes. And it was something like a 4.6k crit or something. It's a quick cast time as well since they sped it up. So I was happy with that. Finally, we get a bit of water utilization. And we can throw a 3 days on someone here too, which we get on the core guard. Burst there, Weaver, who's been engaged in a fight for a long time. So you just wait for a dodge to end and then you take the burst, which is what I did there. That's going to tip that Weaver off, by the way, that there's fresh air against him. And he's going to start chasing me a lot this game. And I think he becomes very valuable for his... Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. He does some notable things, though. So anyway, he's still pressuring my guy, so I pull back a little bit. Here I've got the Mirage on me as well, so I need to leave. So I take a dodge and a Swelling Winds for, like, staff ambush and stuff, which would roll down the hill and hit me, by the way. So you got to be cautious of that. Staying at the bottom of the cliff. I was watching all the clones marching in. I knew he was at max clone capacity, and they were all just pathing to me. So I waited till they got, like, down a bit, and hopefully someone else, and then I just used Arcane Wave to kill them all. If you're lucky, you can do that right before they're about to distort or something, and it feels pretty good. And then I burst the Weaver with the help of my team. That's a very quick kill on him as well. The Mirage is still following me, but I know he's kind of low. I got a Phoenix ready. So he went Axe there. So really, I've got to land the Phoenix at the right place. When the Phoenix returns to me, it will cleanse me. And I get cleansed when I achievement swap. So I think you actually saw I cleared Mass Confusion and Torment there with that Phoenix weapon swap. And this would have been really favorable and fine for me, but the Core Guard is Ring of Wardinged me. Core Guard on Hammer is an immense counter to Fresh Air early, I promise you. Because we don't get stab on stance or anything. Twist of Fate doesn't save us as we try and get around it. You can Lightning Flash, but you'll still be CC'd wherever you land. It's devastating if you end up in a Ring of Warding. And especially now that you take impact damage and chill. Chill is so bad on any Weaver build, really. So yeah, anyway, I die because of that. And my team fighters, I don't know what they were doing, to be honest. They were like on the road somewhere. And now they're just casually getting decapped, and I want to stop that. So I want to port on, but I'm too late. I go for the Mirage with a Plasma Beam. He's dodging. Peeling away because the Core Guard could still take target on me. We just got to find the Mirage because we know that he's low and nearly killable, right? Another dodge in a burst that time as well. I saw maybe 5 evades there. He's back on Axe. I'm still confident that the kill is almost there. We just got to find it. So he's hidden. So I Phoenix around the corner. And that put him extremely low here. You didn't see the Arcane Wave because he was already in stealth. But with the Arcane Wave damage, I can guarantee he's on about 5% health. Very low health and probably fleeing. And if we look very closely, can you see that burn tick that appears over here right around the corner? I noted that in the game. That's him in stealth hiding and running off. We don't get to see his health, not from my footage, but I can guarantee he's very low. And I consider that a victory at the very least. So we clear this clone. And so now this is really kind of annoying because it's a Weaver that's chasing me, and he's going to be chasing me loads. So the Weaver gets a really nice fire grab on me, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that. Quite often, especially on this map, you can just run in big circles, and Weavers are absolutely zero threat. But I actually a ton of pressure. So I'm leaving. The Core Guard focus forward me as well, right? So I have to go. What I was also doing there was running in circles trying to get the Firebrand, my allied support, to heal me in any way. But you'll notice I didn't really get anything. Anyway, so I'm leaving, and I feel like the Weaver is still chasing me. Oh, yeah, it's from the minimap. So as I'm leaving here, if you look at the minimap, watch the blue Weaver icon. Can you see how it's moving towards me? You see that? And here, you see that that's like that? So, and then he disappears. His icon disappeared there. And from this, we know he's still following me. And I remember thinking that was ridiculous, which is why, can you see my cursors doing these circles here? It's because I know there's a Weaver there. And weirdly, right as this flag comes in the way, oh, hello. It's a terrible play and a silly idea because I'm just going to walk through the door and I'm just going to hound him whenever he tries to leave on the roads. So, that's basically what we're playing with here. He's trying to get the kill. I do a terrible Plasma Beam there while he's in Twist of Fate. To be honest, I didn't expect him to have that many dodges because he'd been chasing so aggressively. But, yeah, and then he rides the lightning off. And now the situation twists again. He's like, oh, I can kill him before he gets to the door. So now he's going to turn back on me here. But I'm going to come up around the side. And I'm going to, what I'm going to do is drag him up here with his sword 2 or whatever. I want to see a Polaric Leap. And then I'm going to drop down and lightning flash back up. That's the plan, and I'm pretty confident I'll be 100% fine. But then I notice mid is pretty comfortable, and I have allied support here anyway. So I blink forward, kill the Daredevil. We've secured this as well. But we've lost our 2 cap now. So, by the way, points, you know, rotations. We've been winning very comfortably because we've had a 2 cap the whole game. But our chrono hasn't really been holding close as much as he was at the start. And it's going to start going really badly for my team now. Mirage immediately on respawn is looking at me. Actually, not necessarily respawn because he kited out before. But he's following me here. So my team fighters come up on the ledge very well, I think, here. I'm tracking the air auto to him there, wondering which way he might go. If I was him, I think I would have come down here, so that's why I look in this direction. But he might have doubled back. We see that he's still here. He's also low, by the way, because the Rev was on him a second ago, and I know that, so I just Arcane Wave around the corner and we kill him. So that was really nice. A res attempt goes in on that in a second, though, now. So there, I'm going to leave, and then they start resing, so I come back in. What I'm trying to do here is stand in a position where I'm no longer being obstructed on my auto attack so that I can freely rotate out and do other things, such as here to water again for the Shatterstone and a Comet if they were still resing over it. They weren't, but we get a second Shatterstone kill. Getting used to it, baby. Reaper's an easy target, but does he double port there? I don't know. Bit massive respect for the the worm spectral walk plays, by the way. Me and the Rev together kill that very quick, just like a repeat of the start. I mean, he even had our Scourge attacking him a little bit, but it was the power pressure that finished that off. So that felt good. It still feels like a very comfortable, easy win right now. Oh, so here I might be making a mistake. Let's watch this. So there's a 1v1 starting here. Now, you might say, oh, WP, go plus that straight away. What you really want to do is plus a 1v1 after it's been, 15 to 20 seconds in progress, so that some cooldowns are already done. Otherwise, if someone's dodging, it doesn't matter if they're dodging 1 or 2 people, it's still minimum time to kill saved. You know what I mean? So it's better if I come in a little bit late. So I take a glance over here, and what do I see? Who is it I'm thinking on respawn that I want to fight? I don't know. Now the Scourge is trying to plus it, so instead I come this way, and that's fine. Want to make sure nobody cleaves that body. So who is this that's coming back here? It's the Mirage. So I guess I'm watching for the Mirage. Alright, so we're going to full-on 1v1 a Mirage over mid now. So 2 games for me to play. One is hold the node. This is the easiest node in the entire game type to hold. So even though Fresh Air Weaver will nearly always lose a node. But here, I'm going to try and keep this. And I'm going to 1v1 a Mirage. From the start, both of us on full cooldown. Well, I'm not on full cooldowns. He might not be either. But yeah, so anyway, So what I'm doing right now is just trying to create distance and kite and scare him. So there's a funny thing with Fresh Air. If people start preemptively dodging you and preemptively involing you and not being aggressive enough, they kind of get themselves killed, and that's what this guy does here. I want to note as well that I've cast this. Why did I cast? I can't remember. But this is a really important cleanse for me, and I've cast it. And I'm well aware that I've cast it early. What I'm trying to do by showing... I can't remember. There was a very minor value reason. Maybe I was looking to evade or reflect a clone or something. But basically, I've cast this very early. I can't remember what the justification was. But the entire reason why I was happy to do that is my mindset for this 1v1 is I'm going to take my time with it. So yeah, let's play it through. And I know that was pretty low value what I did there. It was a little bit silly, a little bit spammy. So, yeah, I kite around the side, and he blows a dodge. See that dodge there? That does nothing for him. He's only dodged because he's anticipating me to Plasma Beam. And he's right to, because I just crossed the 900 range threshold, and I've got a Plasma Beam prepped. I doubt he's assessed my attunement, and that I'm fire main. If you're trying to... I see people often try and interpret, how do I fight against a Fresh Air early and expect what they're going to do? I think one of the main things you can watch for in terms of attunement proccing is if you see that they are fire main, quite often that means there's a Plasma Beam coming. They can Plasma Beam you from air main, but the way it works is they'll nearly always double air anyway, which means that they lose the Plasma Beam because, you know, they're going for the double electric discharge and the proc of the double attunement trait. So, yeah, that's often the situation that you'll be looking for. Fire attunement icon means a Plasma Beam. Or, potentially, even worse, a Phoenix, which you saw I opened this game with. Anyway, so, yeah, he's just blown that dodge, and I'm just waiting. We still want the node, though, so I think I dip on. Okay, so this was really nice. I was gonna dip on, and then at the end of his dodge, he distorts. He triple distorts. So instead of, now him distorting means he can't decap anymore. So instead of getting on the node, I just walk to the side, and you see that Twist of Faith? I'd cast that anticipating his F ability to be a shatter of some kind, but no. So I blew that, and I come off to the side, and we actually still have the node. And then I could have blinked back on, but I guess I don't. That was a bit silly. Now we finally do. Okay, what was going through my mind was the kill. I wasn't even thinking about the node here. So basically, once it gets the decap, We've seen him dodge and do a big distort. He has no generation anymore. So as soon as he uses his staff 2, I just blink forward and plasma beam with the air. That's it. And now I run away. I don't stand. He responds. His defensive response to that is stealth. So he could bomb me really hard with axe abilities. So I run away. And you'll notice he was right next to me when he really appeared. But the thing is, because he just swapped to staff and used the phase retreat, he couldn't go to axe. So anyway, I think he blinked onto me there maybe. And now he's just trying to pull away again. So now we know that he's low again. We get a really nice earthen synergy as he moves very briefly in range. He de-targets, but I just let go of the keyboard to make sure I know exactly which one he is. We've been turned to the right. It's very easy. Here I use the... So you see, the magnetic wave was back before it was even relevant. It wasn't even relevant there. All I had to do was Obsiflesh attunement swap, because all we needed to do was cleanse a little bit of burn. I could have saved that for another rotation through. It's kind of cool to see all the little improvements, actually, that are potentially possible. So, anyway, he's now moving in such a way my plasma beam is going to be a right bastard to proc. I wonder if I can set something up keybinds so that the about face key is really, really reliable in a situation like this. Anyway, so I chance just the air 2, but he's dodging in the middle of it, so I don't get that. But then I can double cast for the electric discharge, but I don't think I get a crit, and that's been nerfed if you don't crit anymore. So that wasn't too good. I take a twist of faith when I see... the axe clone ambush is coming in, and now he's trying to create a gap again, and we can kind of finish him off. That was a ton of commentary just for a little 1v1, but basically you just see I was just running around making space, and just his most powerful defensive stuff he used preemptively, and I didn't bait into it, and that's what a lot of 1v1ing is, actually, to be honest. So here's my big mistake of the game. Right now I'm still thinking that the game's a doddle and really easy to win. And I'm thinking my team should have done well, and I'm not really looking at the map. On post commentary, if we look at the map, you'll see that we have no one aggressing far. We've just wiped here. I don't know what my team's done, but in the 4v4 of everyone else, my team didn't do well in it. They've lost, and lost hard. So I have no help anywhere coming remotely, and now the snowball's coming against me, and I wasn't ready for this. So the Weaver's here, and what I'm thinking is, well, I'll just cleave that Mesmer down, and I'll just run until my Firebrand gets here, right? All he has to do is rotate. It's really easy to do this. This guy gets a really nice dodge in Earth, though, which cripples me, which keeps me in his primordial stance, which is pretty bad. I think he's a Glacier variant Weaver. So instead of kiting in circles, I now feel like I should probably go towards the exit, but then I double... but then I change my mind, and I decide I double back on myself. I dodge back on so that I can hold it. But now that the core guard's here, and I've just realized, and I've been caught in the elite right next to the core guard, so it's terrible, to be honest. And I don't quite have obsidian flesh, and I die, and I get snowballed down pretty bad. And the only person anywhere remotely nearby is the Chrono, who was here too late. And I get pinged as though I've been some kind of drag on the team there, I think, or something. I don't know. I don't know what the ping was for. I even asked in chat. I think I did perfectly well, though, holding mid in the 1v1. You can't ask for too much more. Obviously, I just needed to bail out. What I needed to do was be a bit more aware of the overall map, and just more aggressively leave. I think I might have had a bit too much confidence with how much damage I could shrug off with this Weaver. So that's the next story here. The Weaver's pushed into our base, so there's a story going on here that the blue team is almost at 350. Now, the blue team has consistently been losing this game and has not had a grip on this game at all, except for the past 2 minutes or so while I was at mid, where they've now started catching up. So what's probably on the blue team's mind is all we need is 350 and we can push a Lord. And that's probably what this guy's thinking about. And that is fine, I think, as a play. If you're ever going to really be thinking about Lord, I think this is an okay time to do it when you've been losing consistently, but you still have a 100-point sort of cushion and one of the gates is already down. So he's come here. So he doesn't necessarily counter me. I can just run from this. And my idea is just to sort of mark him and stay with him. And if he pushes the Lord, he's never going to kill the Lord with a fresh air Ellie, just blatantly casting on him. The other, and that's what's going through my mind right now. So I'm just sort of doing this. And what I think is, well, I'll kite him next to the Lord, and the Lord can just do free damage. So I come back here. And now this guy turns and leaves. And I think he susses that that's a bad idea and he's got to be elsewhere on the map. So now he's leaving. That's fine. And what I suddenly realize as I've lightning flashed forward is, to tell you the truth, I could probably just ignore this guy next to the Lord. He probably does so little damage, he can't kill it that quick. I don't know, though, because he does seem to be a little bit more aggressive than I was used to. So I'm not sure. So, and now he's coming back. So it's kind of fun, actually. This is why one of the reasons I wanted to do this game of the day. It's kind of a fun interplay there between these two Weaver specs. Anyway, then he just vanishes from my field of vision. I'm like, well, look, I should probably do something. The enemy team just flipped this node, and now they're like, they just killed an ally of mine. So I'm hoping that they'll zerg off. So I very aggressively look on the left, and they do. So I get this free decap. At this point, I'm still extremely confident in this game. We have Far, and it's being defended by our Mesmer. And I flip this. We get our 2-cap back. In 80 points, it's over. We've won. I mean, what kills have we seen the enemy team doing? But you'll notice I haven't seen the Reaper for ages. And look, 3 of them on respawn again. My team's basically respawning and wiping over and over at the moment. The Mesmer on my team doesn't kite whatsoever. If you look here, the Chrono is dead on node. And very quickly. It only took them a couple of seconds to kill him there. So that's pretty bad. This Thief comes in on me. And I think I can probably kill it. I don't really have to, though, because I have allies coming behind me. I actually noticed on post-commentary, I'm being decapped. Holy crap. Who's decapping me? What? Let's watch back here. So, I full cap. My last bit of vision here for a cross, that's fine. It's still nobody, and I can see it. Wow, that's such a bizarre decap, guys, because... like, my team hasn't scored any kills for ages, so no one's necessarily on respawn. So you're not expecting a route from down here. No one can be coming near my team, theoretically, right? You'd expect them all to have just countered the snowball here. That's a really weird decap. Who's decapping me? That's such a strange position. Anyway, so my Necro... ignore the decap. For now, what's going through my mind is I can just pressure this, and if it gets really bad, I can kite back towards my team. There's no fear here. I go aggressively at the start of the fight, though, so I Gale, and I'm waiting for him to dodge or something. He pops his Signet active, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he does nothing, so I just burst him, because, hey, why not? He shadow steps forward, but not very far. I don't really want to go too deep for when he shadow returns, so I want to sort of stand somewhere near here. Doesn't look like he will. Blink around the sides. Cleave that down. Now we've got to take the core guard. Each kill here is really good because it's another, 5 points each time, and we get this node. And we can still win this. All we have to do is just zerg this node and kill this guy. So I'm going to Shatterstone this as well now. Preempt a little bit of weight. Look at how early the Shatterstone procs. It's good, guys. It's genuinely... I think that was a Shatterstone hitting him, actually. If it wasn't, we did a lot of damage otherwise. So it's pretty good, and what I'm thinking about is the no ports on these. I don't actually utilize any of them. He judges back towards my team, and you'll notice I've let the Reaper just attack my guys. So now he's come around here and he's in renewed focus. So they've scored a kill. It's against the wall. He's going to renewed focus to sustain and probably try to stab stomp that. This I haven't taken into mind in the moment. I have one save here though, and that's Fiery Greatsword. So I cast the Greatsword. I get the 5 up. So he's just finished his renewed focus and he's going to Ring of Warding. I'm now locked in next to him. But because it's against a wall, I don't have to be too scared. So this guy's got Prot, Aegis, plenty of retail, by the way, but I'm 100% health. So the save here is to kill the core guard with the FGS. So we use it into the wall and we insta-kill him. Then what we're doing here is we're autoing and trying to... what I actually want to do here really is press T so that I can target this. The downstate 2 knocks me back. I couldn't really anticipate when that would be anyway. And through the ring. And now we cleave this. And we had to do that for like the rally race. What's even nicer though is because the Reaper now comes in. The Reaper does the exact same thing the core guard did. Walks against the wall to cleave my friends. So I get another GS3. Really good. An ally of mine could be picking that sword up to rotate through here. But yeah, so this was really nice. But no one's done anything elsewhere now. And the enemies closed the gap massively. There's just been no victories. For some reason, my Chrono is breaking their gate and going towards Lords. Not quite sure what's up with that. We want this mid, but I don't want to be the first target. I want to move in early. Obviously, my guy's low, though, so I can't piss about too much. So I move in. We burst. Now I'm pulling back again because I don't want us getting decapped by the respawns. So here's Core Guard. Core Guard, Hammer Core Guard is a big counter to me. Very, very, very big. So I'm going to show you an unfair way in which we can win this 1v1. They, the Valkyrie Amulet, they shrug off the damage very comfortably. They resustain very comfortably. So how do we win this 1v1? Well, we know his ultimate objective is the decap. So I'm going to hit him on the roads. What I do is I stand on this elevated rock here, which is a no port spot. So I know that he can't sword 2 or judge his intervention onto me. And hopefully we'll see he blows something early and messes up. So here he focus 4s, and I choose not to. I could twist a fate to dodge while staying on no port, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to eat it, and I'm going to knock him down. This is unblockable, so we can deal with that. But he's still got Aegis. So what I'm going to do here is Phoenix. This is I've got a Dragon's Tooth there, which really doesn't mean anything. And now he's gone... Sorry, so he goes Focus 5. So there's like a billion blocks here. Aegis and Focus 5. So what I'm going to do is just Phoenix, which is unblockable. Which won't rip his stacks. As you see here, he still has Aegis and Focus 5 up. But we get to do a little bit of damage. And I'm just waiting now. See, there's nothing that I'm doing. And all I'm doing is trying to just wait for the Focus 5 to leave. When it does, I now break the regular Aegis with the Fracturing Strike. We immob. And we do some pressure. So that's good. I think this... He might not be Valkyrie, because we got him very low there. Anyway, so with that, he now dodges forward, and he's going to the node. And he's now out of range. So my next play... The exchange here is if I get off of this spot, he weapon swap, glacial blast, judge's intervention, kills me. Right? That's the fear. So what I do is I jump from one no port to another, which is this rock here. So now he turns around, and I think he's just left a hammer maybe earlier, but we know he's still on sword. So if you see here, he uses sword 3. And I wonder if he tried to judges there and he got the error, because he just sword 3. There's no projectiles, or he just doesn't understand how my build works. So sword 3 does nothing for him. I don't know whether that's because I was on no port, but we're going for the kill. Now he's blown his heal here as well and been denied any damage. So... You know, we got a good window of aggression possible. So I step off of the no port, plasma beam lightning flash, and we kill him right off the edge of the node. So that was a very unfair way and then we blind so that we don't get knocked back because he's got a plus coming in. That's a very unfair way in which I can actually take one of these, but it's very dependent on the map and, you know, how aggressive they are and stuff. He could have played that in a million other ways that would have made that almost impossible for me to deal with. Hence why I don't really play this in ranked. So anyway, and now I've mentally checked out. I've decided the game's over because once again my team's wiped. I've been plus. The only way to win now is with Lords, which my 2 guys are attacking, but it's being defended. The only way to win is if my team successfully kills Lord. They've thrown the rest of the map for it. So all I have to do is not die. This is completely irrelevant. So I'm just going to wait. And see what we've got. This was a really nice evasion on the Mirage here. But oh, no, I was in Vuln. Never mind. I thought that was... on post-commentary, I thought that looked really weird. And I see now that I'm being plussed even further, so I come here onto the JP. Was it this game? We saw a Mirage do a similar thing, and then I was going to jump back up. So we just got to wait and hope. My guy goes in and starts suiciding, though. Really dangerous. So I got to, like, come forward a bit. And so, yeah, And I mean, I get some good damage on the Daredevil, who, I don't know, hasn't been particularly impressive just yet. And we don't get anything in the end. So the game is over. Maybe my play was instead to rush Lord with them. But I'm a fresh air earlier. I don't actually have that much sustained damage. So I wouldn't actually be that good use there, aside from hitting whoever the defender is. And yeah, so I actually lose that game. But I think that there was a lot of fun plays that I made here. Let's look at the end scoreboards. With that Daredevil dead again right at the end here. So we got 30% of the team's damage. That's a good solid number there. 14 kills, 1 needless death. It really feels like the entire thing collapsed as soon as I died that one time in mid when I didn't leave, and I probably should have. And I was just kind of trying to kite a Weaver around when I probably should have been more scared of him. But, you know, we didn't get a top score on it, but even our offense and defense was pretty good this game. So, yeah, I think that was a fun one. Shows you some other interesting little things. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. And let's see, now that I've just spent half an hour talking into the microphone, if All or Nothing's out. Let's check.